In this episode, I am going to teach a new topic to Divya, which is drawback. So Divya, what is the concept of drawback? Now the drawback concept is whenever we make a move, it can be a pawn move or a piece move, we have some ideas, right? So we make a pawn move or a piece move with some particular idea or some aim in mind. But what we don't realize is every move we make, it can be a pawn move or a piece move, it has its own drawbacks as well. Now that's what I'm going to teach you, how to identify the drawback of our move or for our opponent. And especially this will be useful in open positions and when you are calculating or trying to get an advantage. You must try to use the concept of drawback more, okay? So let me explain with a simple example. So let's bring the initial position on the board. Now I am going to show how to identify the drawback of a pawn move. Now let's say white plays the first move g3. Now what happens, the squares h3, it has become 100% weak. There is no pawn control over that square. But for the square f3, it has become 50% weak because the pawn on e2 is still having some control, but it has become 50% weak. Now let's say the next move I play e3. Okay, now we have g3 and e3. Now the square h3 is 100% weak. Now the f3 has also become 100% weak. Okay, when I say weak, I mean there is no pawn control. So any pawn move that we make, now let's bring the original position again. Now let's say I play the move e4. Now which are the squares that have become weak? The squares f3 and f4, they have become 50% weak because the pawn cannot control those squares anymore. Not only that, the squares d3 and d4, they have also become 50% weak. Okay, so any pawn move, the adjacent squares become weak. This you need to remember. And the drawback, if we can exploit those adjacent squares, then we are exploiting the drawback of the pawn move. Now let me show an example of how the drawback of a piece move can be identified. Now whenever there is a piece in one particular square, it is doing some job. Okay, but it moves to a different square, then from the new square it is doing some other job, but it is ignoring the job which it was doing earlier. Okay, now how to explain this? Now let's say white has queen on d1. Okay, on an empty board we have queen d1. Now let's say black has rook on a8. Now let's say I play queen d1 to g4. So from g4 it is doing a lot of good things, but it has left the d file. So if I do anything along the d file, for example I play rook to d8. Now this was not possible when the queen was on d1. Since I have left the d file, you bring the rook to d8, then that is exploiting the drawback of queen g4. Okay, so I think now you have understood the concept of drawback. I'm going to test it with few examples. Okay, so let's bring next position on the board. White has king e1, pawns a2, b2, c2, h2, e4, f4, g5, queen f3, bishop e3, bishop d3, rook a1, h1, knight d2, knight b3. For black we have king e8, pawns h7, g7, f7, e6, d6, a6, b6, knight d7, knight g8, queen c7, rook h8, a8, bishop e7 and b7. Okay, so this is the position. Now it is black to move. Black played long castle. Okay, he plays long castle. Now Divya, I want you to tell me how we can exploit the drawback of long castle. With which move?
Queen e2.
Very good. So when the rook was on a8, it was guarding the square a6, right?